Hi, this is Alicia with the APLCrafts podcast. This is a knitting channel, so if you are new here, welcome, and if you're returning, hey, nice to see you again. So today's episode is going to be short and sweet. I don't have a lot going on. I have one finished product, two, and then a couple of whips that I'll go over. And then I'll do a little bit of self-promoting at the end, and that will be it. So I guess I'll show you my first finished product. So last episode I was working on a shawl called Medhel on Gwyns. I think I'm saying that correct. And that is a pattern by, let me write it. Let me see right here. Kalura Hudson. You think I'd remember that, right? I already knitted another pattern from her. So this is finished. And yeah, I want to make sure I didn't give you the wrong side. So here we go. This turned out to be 63 inches across, maybe 64. And this is with Hill and Hollow, I believe. And it's the original pattern that I'll put a picture for right here is made out of chunky yarn, and this one is made out of worsted. So what I did was I added 2 repeats of each stockinette section that's in here. So it goes stockinette and then garter, stockinette and then eyelet, stockinette, garter, all the way down to the end. You can see there. And so I just extended each stockinette section so that it'll give it some length because it's a thinner yarn than the chunky. And then in the spine, it's all single cross cable. I guess that's what you would call it, like a chain type of cable. So yeah, and I knit this on a US 9. I'll show you what it looks like on. So I have not worn this yet out in public, but I have been using it in the house, watching movies just to keep me warm. So, yeah. I don't normally knit triangle shawls because I realize that it's not a style that suits me. But for some reason, I happened to purchase this, a little while back, and so I'm just going through all my purchase patterns. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to show you. I think I have an updated list of all the stuff that's in my queue for, not my queue, but my bundle for 2023 of things I want to make. And included in that are some purchase patterns, but not all. So anyway, so that's Medhel on Gwyns, which I think means soft like the wind or something like that. So yeah. Okay. And then my next finished pattern, or finished whatever, is a square. So at the beginning of the month, I decided to use up all of my worsted farm yarn scraps. So I'll show you. I have a whole bunch right here. So it's just all kinds of stuff. Some of it's alpaca, some of it is Shetland wool mix, some of it is just pure Shetland. But yeah. So I have a bunch of these, and it's not really enough for me to do anything else with. And I was like, well, I'm already making a whole bunch of shawls this year. Let me do something different. And so I came across a blanket pattern from Norah. It's a free pattern on Ravelry called the Vintage Afghan. And so it's all modular. So what you do is you just knit a bunch of squares, and they're all different cable charts. And then you we'll piece it together. And I haven't looked yet to see how it's pieced together. I believe it's probably mattress stitch because that would make the most sense to me, but I haven't actually looked to see. But my this is blocked as best as I could get it, and it measures out 14 by 14. Now, because all of my worsted scraps they're a little bit different. Like, let me show you. I've got, like, the thicknesses vary just a little bit, so like this is kind of unwieldy. it's like slight, but just enough that it's not really quite the same thickness. Here's another example. This is Swarpless, and it's almost the same, but just a little bit thicker. So that little bit of a variance when I'm making these squares is going to at least change the size by like maybe a ½ inch to an inch going square. So I think some squares I'm going to have to aggressively block, and then some I won't have to really block as much. But since the first square turned out to be 14 by 14, I want to keep everything at 14 by 14 as much as possible so I can put it all together. And I'll put a picture of the pattern here. It's 20 squares. So what I'm doing is, since I know I don't have enough scrap yet to do all 20 squares, what I'm trying to do is figure out how many scraps are going into each square, and then trying to find a cable pattern that will go with that many scraps, if that makes sense. Like this one has 2 different colors, so I just put like the lighter swath in the middle, and then you know, I kind of flanked it with the one color here and on the bottom. So I'll show you what, because I'm working on a second square. This one's going to have like 3 different pieces of scrap, so I'm trying to figure out how to color block that one. And that's backwards. Okay. So this one is that, yeah, it's a 4x4 cable. So you're just crossing over 4 stitches and then crossing it over in the front. So I'm going to flank this square with the dark brown, and then I'm doing this light brown right now. I'll probably do that for a few repeats. I think each crossover is 1 repeat. So I have 1, 2, 3. I'm working on a 4th one now. So I'll probably do 2 more repeats in this color, go back to this color, and then finish it off with this one. And I don't think it'll be perfectly even, but it's a scrap blanket, so you know, who cares. But that's my idea. So I kind of want to do a little bit of color management, but there's only so much you can really do with scraps, so I'm just trying my best. And this particular yarn, I think I bought a lot of Shetland alpaca last year, 2 years ago, I guess it'd be now, 2021. So I'm pretty sure this is a Shetland alpaca, and it's got some brown sparkle in there, if you can see that. So that's that. And so that's it for my finishes. I'll show you another whip that I'm working on. I'm almost done with my first cake of this cotton, hand spun cotton, that I'm making the ripple camisole with. And if you're unfamiliar with the ripple camisole, it is a very popular pattern by Jessie Mae Designs, and it's all 3x3 red bottom up. And this is like a super thin yarn. Let me show you. It's like super thin. So I'm knitting this on a 3, and I'm 12 inches in, and I'm kind of regretting using a 3, and I probably should have gone down to a 2. But it's a very flattering design on pretty much every body type. So I have more of this cotton, I have it in a pink, and I won't use very much of the second cake of the purple that I have for this. So I'm probably just gonna make another one and try it on a 2 and see. This is the largest size that is on there. So yeah, I'm at 12 inches, and I've already started doing shaping. There's no shaping in the pattern, but I have this at 48 inches, and my bust is a 44, so I'm kind of making the pattern A-lines so that when it gets up here, it'll be as close to 44 as possible. I'll probably go down to like 45 inches because I want a little bit of give, and then I'll start the cutoff for the arms and then start doing the straps. So that's my plan. So what I've done, actually, is I just did another set of decreases. So I'll show you. I don't know if it'll show up very much on the camera, but yeah, you can kind of see it. I don't want to lose my stitches. So what I did was I measured to about 11 inches. Yeah, I started here. So this is about 10 and a half, 11 inches, and then I did a decrease, and then did another 10 rows, and then did another decrease, and I have to measure it to see if it's going to be right. But what I was trying to do was get it where I can meet the 3x3, so they're back together again. Because when you're decreasing, I do 2 stitches on each side, and so then it's like it's not 3x3 anymore. You know, you got 2x2 and then 1 and 1, and then, you know, so you've got 2 knit stitches and a purl, and then 2 purl stitches and a knit or something, and I want to try to get it back to where it's uniform. So that's where it's at right now. So I need to measure it and see if I need to do any more decreases, because if I want to keep it uniform, I don't want to take away too many stitches. So that'll be interesting. So I have to do some more math on that one. But so far, so good. So, yep, that's that. And last video, where is my, okay, yeah, here it is. I was down here, and then that's what I've done since the 31st when I filmed the last video. So I'm very happy to move this progress keeper up now, because it was kind of getting annoying that was way down here. So does that bother anybody else? Whoop, I dropped yarn. Okay, and I have one more whip, and this work in progress is my merino bamboo yarn that I've been showing for a little while, and this is the pattern called Slain by Lisa Much, and I'll throw a picture of that pattern here. And this is what I've got so far. This is kind of upside down, I guess. So this is what it looks like on here. So I started out, I'm knitting all this on a US 6, and the original pattern I think is on a 8, and this is fingering weight yarn. I didn't want that loose of a fabric, so I went to a 6. I normally knit my fingering weight yarns anything on a 5. So just a little bit looser, but not too much. So it's all short rows. If you're familiar with some of the, I don't know if she still does a whole lot of short row stuff in her patterns, but she had this long period of time where everything was like short row. So that's, you know, what's going on here. And for the first time in my life, I ever did a black and white, you know, where you take a picture and do the black and white to see what your contrasts are going to be. Because originally this dark purple, which I think is Heather, was supposed to be where this gray is, this charcoal, and it wasn't looking right. So I swapped B and C, the color B and C. I think that looks better, but that's how much I got so far. So I started on a 16-inch US 6, because if you're doing all these short rows, you're going to be doing this for a while, right? And then so I moved to, this is a 40-inch, so I'm going to be on this one for a while, and then when it gets really wide, then I'm moving to a 60-inch. I think it's a 60-inch. So yeah, labor of love, because it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in short row, but I really do like the way these come out. I like her patterns. I think this is my 3rd pattern by Lisa Much that I'm doing. And this light color is lavender, and I think no, I do not have, yes I do. I do have the label. It's by Knitting Notions. That's the merino bamboo yarn, and that's the information. Classic merino bamboo, 490 yards. It's 35% rayon bamboo and 65% merino. Okay, I do have a little bit of acquisition. So last time I mentioned that there is a charity shop in Nashville that I go to, Smart Art and Supply or Craft Supply. I always call them Smart Supply, even though that's not technically their name. But they're still getting an influx of yarn lately. So I'm wondering if, like, we had this pickup of knitting and crochet back in 2020, and I'm wondering, it's just a thought, I'm wondering if some people have given it up, and that's why there's just this large, because it's not just random skeins of yarn that are coming in. They're like collections of yarn that are coming in. It's like whole swaths, just big, like all the same lots and stuff. And I'm like, that just looks like either somebody's, somebody had a loss in the family and they're just giving away stuff and they just had a whole lot of collection, or some people have given it up and so they just have like yarn that they had for projects and they're just donating it. But anyway, so I've been going there for that to see what they have. It's usually, I don't buy acrylic very much anymore, but I go there to look for the wool, or anything interesting. So this time around, I found, who is this? This label is really weird. Okay. Pacolet Valley Fiber Company. So that's the label. And this yarn is 60% organic Pima cotton and 40% Belgian flax. So I got that just because it's an interesting mix. And it was marked down to $12. And it's a taupey color, very light taupey color. 1 ounce, 120 yards. So I'm probably going to mix this with whatever other cotton that I have in my stash, if it'll go well. If not, then I'll have to figure out something or just hold on to it until I find something else. So, who knows? Then I also picked up this mercerized cotton balls. Was it 50 grams? I think. Yeah, 50 grams. Fingering weight. It's blowing out a little bit on the camera. It's not that red. It's a little bit more muted than that. 50 cents. This place is worth it. If you're in the Nashville area or you're visiting, I'm going to go check them out. And it goes to a good cause. So they focus on giving people with disabilities jobs, and they have a pretty steady crew. So they do good work over there. So yeah, I don't think it has a, I didn't look for a name called Cardinal. Okay, there you go. And then I picked up a skein of Rowan wool. It just says new wool, so I'm not sure what kind of wool, like what they would do for that. But anyway, so that's this one, and it was $5. I don't see a color name, but maybe I'm just missing it. No, anyway, so pick that up. This is fingering weight. Can you tell I like fingering weight? Fingering weight and DK. That's my jam. And then, I don't know what kind of wool this is, but it's definitely some kind of high twist wool. So if I had to make an educated guess, I would say that it is an 80-20 or 85-15, something like that. Because normally, in my experience, this high twist, that's the fiber content. So that's $2. It's already caked up. They had so this place, like a year or so ago, they picked up a ball winder, and they just show themselves, winding up all the yarn and stuff. And I'm like, you really should leave it in the skeins. But I get, considering it's a art place and it's all thrift, that you want to make it ready for the customer. I get it, because it's a great place if you want to pick up a new craft or something, to get supplies for cheap. That's kind of the whole point. So I get it. You want to make it ready. Me, I rather keep stuff in full skeins, but I get where they're coming from. Either way, it's relaxed enough now, so it doesn't really matter. And so, and it takes the work out, so I have to look at it that way. But this is a nice, it's kind of a blue with, looks like it has a glaze of black on it. So, yeah, that's coming out pretty true on the screen. So yeah, I got that. And I think that's it. Told you, short and sweet. So I'm gonna do a little bit of advertising for my shop, because I just wanted to remind you guys that I have the Amethyst colorway on sale this month. And I remember this time to actually bring the skein to show you. So it is a medium purple yarn with like these pops of blue, and I will take this out of the, I'll spread this out so you can see it. So you've got like some medium, light, medium, dark going on here. So it's kind of tonal until you hit the blue sections that are in here, and it's not going to speckle because it's too long of a swath for a speckle when you knit, but it will give you like little sections of colors. So like if you're used to knitting with Patton's Croy, for instance, and it's at that section where, like, you know, you've got a background of a certain color and then you've got like little swaths of, you know, another color, that's pretty much what it's going to knit up like. So there's that. So this is Amethyst. And with the yarn, all the birthstone colorways also come with a zodiac charm that you can get for $5 extra. And then you can just choose which zodiac you would like that falls under that month. It just occurred to me that somebody might want a zodiac charm of a different time that doesn't fall under that month. I don't know why I didn't list it that way. But if you want a different charm and it's not under what you like, what month you want to get, you know, just send me a message and I'll be happy to hook you up. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I can always make the changes on my listings, so it's not a problem. And I think that's it. So I will see you at the end of the month with all of my finishes. Oh, you know, I forgot to show you my updates. So I will show a picture here, or pictures of what I've accomplished so far this month. And I guess it would be since January, since I'm doing like a markdown of every single thing that I'm trying to work on, because my list for 2023 and my paid for patterns take precedence over anything else I want to knit. But if it doesn't fall under there and I knit it, it'll happen. So I'm not too worried about it, but I figure for the sake of the podcast, I will mark down everything that I've actually, or cross out everything that I've actually knit that's in that category. So that's here. So the only thing that really changed is that one pattern, Medhel on Gwyns, because I finished that a few days ago, a week ago, something like that. Yeah, so if you need to find me anywhere, the link will be in the description box below. It's a link tree, so you can just choose whatever you want to do. All my shops are down there, my Ravelry's down there, my Instagram's down there, so you can find me that way. And oh, I picked up some new subscribers, so thank you if you're here. I appreciate that. I see you. Thank you for being here. I think that's it. So I will see you at the end of the month with my finished makes for February. And hey, enjoy those VKL videos that are coming up real soon, Folk Knitting Live, because you know I'm going to be watching it right with you, because yeah, FOMO is real. Yep. So enjoy those videos. All right, so I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching.